All right, so some of you have seen this finished artwork here, which is the Chrono Family, I guess. Chrono Walker, a very popular card in Genesis Battle of Champions. Um, and in a live stream from, who was it now? Heads or Tails Gaming. They had a live stream where it was Assad, Sid, and Stevio that all faced each other. It was like a three-man battle. Someone had mentioned something about, they were talking about Chrono Walker and how it upset some people because they couldn't compete against it, and one of us made a crack about a Chrono Runner or Chrono Skipper or Chrono, all these other different things, and someone said something about Chrono Mum or something like that, or Chrono Mother, and I went, oh geez, it's not a bad idea, a whole Chrono family. So as you see before you here, this is the finished Chrono Family artwork, which you might have seen if you follow me on Facebook, Outer Edge Comics, if you are on the Discord for Genesis Battle of Champions, or if you follow Genesis Battle of Champions on Discord. Now you will see this on our YouTube channel. I am going to actually play through the video and do some commentary on the artwork as I go through it, just so you know what's going on. So here was the base layout, the original just kind of idea of the father, mother, and three children, based loosely on the Chrono Walker. I know the Chrono Walker itself is a little bit different. I guess I kind of jumped into my own artistic impression of it. Take that for what it is, whether you like it or not. I didn't quite do the same thing. I did it more like a stone golem being held together by those light spheres, as opposed to the actual Chrono Walker has connections at the leg joints and certain other joints. I decided to make every joint be a glowing ball. I also decided to make the child, as you see there, soft and round, because they are a child and they are growing up. You can see, I know the father has a soft round head and the mother has the roundish hair, but the children have somewhat rounded domes to their heads and a little bit more softness to their structure. And I did that on purpose as well because, they should be a little bit softer. They're children. I did mimic, if you notice there, some of the scratch marks on Chrono Walker, because on the actual Chrono Walker card, there are scratch marks on his face, and I put them on the chest. I can't remember if they're on the actual card or not, those scratch marks. However, in my infinite wisdom, I did not layer this artwork properly. So what I should have done was layer each component, the heads, the arms, the chest, the legs, everything separately, would have made the insertion of the glowing spheres infinitely easier. Instead, I had to clean stuff up, add them in after, and then go back and erase a whole bunch of them. You may have seen actually just before this point here, if you saw my live stream the other day, I tried doing this in Sketchbook on the PC. Just couldn't get the right brushes. This is in Procreate on the iPad and just seemed to have the right brushes for what I needed it to do, to get that stony texture sort of thing. I actually started using the lasso tool with the son and the daughter to get sharper edges on them, because I really wanted that sharp definition of the angles of the stone as it intersects with each other. So then I went back and did a little bit of that on the rest of them. As you can see here, I added all their joints in, started doing some of the electrical charge that holds them, the, I guess, magnetic charge it would be, and as well as some of this veining here to get like the veining that goes through the stonework. What's really nice is this brush, one of these luminosity brushes in Procreate does a really nice effect of bringing out some of the other the coloring in some of that veining. So it really does help accent it a bit. Saves a little bit of time, so I don't have to do that much detail work. You'll see I threw some nebula finishes in there to get that glowing effect. Again, had I layered it properly, that glowing would have been beautifully over top of their certain body parts. I wouldn't have to go back and erase it. Instead, I had to grab a nebula eraser brush and go back in and clean it up. You can see I did some sharp edges there where obviously they were hidden. Would have been so much easier if I layered it right, but live and learn. Pretty soon you'll actually, and I tried to pick colors that looked like they had aged. Okay, now you're going to see me have some fun with the background, and by fun I mean absolute horrible experience with the background. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. I tried colors, I tried this, I tried that, but the characters wouldn't pop. So then I did some smoky background outlines on them. It just didn't look right. It looked weird. So I left it for a bit. I tried to see if it grew on me, and I did some of this moss that you see on the actual Chrono Walker. I did a little bit first, and then as I was going through it, I just realized that background was not working. I had to do something about it. So I knocked out the background and put them in a cave, because in the Chrono Walker art, he's in a cave. So put some stalagmites and stalactites in there, some sharp angles, trying to focus on getting the right angles for the shading and whatnot. And then I started mossing up the cave, because obviously if they're mossy, the cave must be mossy. Now, I only put it on Chrono Walker in the cave to start with. Then I did this nice little sketchy brush here just to rough up the stones a bit more. Probably could have done that a little bit different to get those rougher edges not quite as rough, but it is a background. I probably even should have blurred it a bit or somehow unfocused it a bit. Oh, I missed it there. I put a nice flower in the mother's hair, and then I started adding some water. You'll notice there's a little green streak over the Chrono Walker's body. Yeah, that's when I promptly fell asleep while working. So it managed to happen that I streaked up my artwork. I went in, cleaned it up, got the rest of the moss on them done, and the baby has plenty of moss because obviously it's still growing. It's very like babies heal fast and stuff like that. I thought that was a great motif that it was doing all that. A little bit of steam coming off of the waterways and all that. And I just thought it was nice the way it finally all came together. I added a little bit of whoops. Let's pause that so we can get back to the final artwork. I added a little bit of blue and pink tinges to the stones around each of the characters, so you saw kind of like the light of their glowing spheres was bouncing off of the structure behind them. I guess I could have done a little bit more of the cave fading into the distance, but I thought this was good and plenty. I got enough of the coloring in there, a little bit of interest in the cave around them with these waterfalls and whatnot, or water trickling, I guess, down. And yeah, I didn't put any moss on the children. I figured they were clean enough. Should be clean. It was the parents because they were getting older, and the baby because it was young and fresh. And that is the ChronoFamily artwork I did. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. It was a spark of inspiration that kind of just made me jump all over it, and I thought, why not? A little bit of a departure from the chibi art you're used to me doing, and I hope to do more stuff like this. You know, just little things that pique my interest, or little things that trigger off ideas. If you're part of the Kickstarter campaign, or even if you're not, I guess you can watch the videos, but there's videos on card designs, and I try and do my own artwork for the card designs, just rough sketches, because I think it's neat. Just adds a little something to it and keeps those creative juices flowing. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know some people watched the live stream of this, which fell flat on its face and was terrible, but check out this video and you'll see the whole start to finish in a nice time lapse. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.